Hey traders, Parker here with another indicator. Actually, some modifications that I made to the previous week, day, month, high, low, and close, and after hours and pre-market indicator, and also the channel indicator that I gave away with the buying and selling pressure averages. Not averages, but buying and selling pressure dots, you could say. But for the most part, let's take one down and take the leave the other one up. So we'll go over first the channel indicator and the modifications that I've made to it. And for the most part, I have the actual high and low and the fibs of the channel actually hidden right now. So you're not going to see in those. I have my volume actually hidden as well. But the modifications that I made to it was I put in the deviations for the ranges of the high minus the close and close minus the low. So these bright blue arrows right here will be two deviations away from the regular range, above the range of the close minus the low. You see these small blue arrows are just one deviation above the close minus the low range. So if the close minus the low range, or the buying range, I should say, is above average or above one deviation, you get a small arrow. If it's above two deviations, you'll get two of these you get one of these big arrows. So those were the modifications that I made for the buying pressure. And for the selling pressure, it'll be the high minus the close. So you can see generally on this candle right here that this is two deviations above the range for the high minus the close. And you get the smaller ones for the smaller deviation, for one deviation above the range of high minus the close. I changed the actual buying and selling pressure dots if the stock makes a new low, but the range of the close minus the low is greater, then you get a green dot. And same vice versa here with the red dot. If a stock makes a new high, but the range is minus the high minus the close is greater than close minus the high, then you get a red dot. So I probably said that wrong on this one. So if the stock makes a new low and the range of the close minus the low is greater than the range of the high minus the close, then you get a green dot. So that's how those dots work. The other things that are in here now are the irregular bodies. Because before I was using the cyan color, this light blue color for my irregular bodies, I've changed that. So anytime you get an irregular body, which is if you get a small body of the candle, and you have above average volume, you get a big blue square in the middle of the candle. So that's how you'll see those irregular bodies. And vice versa, if you get a big body with a small amount of volume, you get this violet color right here, this violet square right there. And the other modification is the ranges. So the high and low range. So if you get a above average range and low volume, you would get this little yellow color square, and it's at the high and low. It's at the you get this actually this dot right here. You will get the it'll be at the middle of the high and low. It won't be in the middle of the body. It'll be at the middle of the high and the low. But if you get a smaller than average range but above average volume, you get this one of these big gray bar squares. You get a big square. So as we can look right here, we can see how all this buying pressure was down here at this point right here. And you can see this line right here I created on a daily. Because I found out that it was a lot of lows in the same area. You can see right here, you can see the same buying pressure dots and the arrows and everything here as well. So you can see this low right here, this low right here, this low right here, this low right here. Even though yesterday it breached below it, price pulled back up. It closed above this line. Even though we opened below the line, price is trying to push back above. This blue line right here is your midpoint for yesterday. So this is the high and low divided by 2, and that's your midpoint for the day. This line right here is your midpoint for the week, and this right here is your midpoint for the month. As you can see, it started back here on December. So this is your current midpoint of your monthly high and low. So because this was an inside day, the midpoint from the previous day carries over. So we bring it back to today and what's going on. I'm going to shift down my channel indicator. We'll bring it back together so we can see how everything works together. Wrong thing. That's the VWAP. Here we go. Here we go. So today is an inside day. So these fields are going according to the inside day. So they're working off of yesterday's high, yesterday's low. I tried to make it where it will automatically do this if you get an inside day, inside week, or inside month. But I had a problem with Thinkorswim code not allowing me to make it automatic. So if you get a label for inside day, you have to come down, or inside day, week, or month, you had to change that. So if you wanted just the fields to go for the high and low, then you would just press high and low. But if you use the unbounded version, it's going to use the average of the highest high of 21 days and the lowest low of 21 days. But if you don't want to use the 21 days, you can shift this to whatever you want it to. But I'm going to leave on the inside day, and we're going to look at the fibs. And it also comes with a cloud. You can hide it. Right now I have it hidden. But if you want that cloud, it's there. But for the most part, let's look at where all those lows generally hit. All those lows generally hit here at this Fibonacci Fib 10 level right there. And we can look right here. You can also have the daily open right here as well. So this, I showed you this line right here that was on the daily where I found all those lows at, and that's why I marked it out. And you can see how it actually worked as support. We can push it over, and you can see where it hit the 21.4 fib as well. Once it did break above and hit this this purple line right here is the previous day close. And anything that's past is going to be back here. Anything that's current is going to be in the forefront. And that's how I designed the indicator. And these, this is your previous, this is your after hours low and after hours high. This blue line right here is your pre-market high. And because it's considered, for me, it's considered in the past, so it's back here. Or the bubble is back here to show your pre-market high. There's your pre-market low down there as well. And you can see how your weekly, daily, everything, your weekly and your monthly low are according to the previous day's low. You can see all that, and here's your Fibonacci was 0, 391.64. It would be 0. You're 0. But you can see how price is getting rejected at this point right here. This is your day high. This is your fib 38.2 fib. So we zoom back out. And we see our midpoint from yesterday is way up here. It got close to it, but it hadn't hit it yet. So here's our 61.8, our 78.2, and our 90 are 10% away from our 100 or previous day's high. So those are the modifications that I made to that indicator. And like I said, it comes with a cloud, and it comes with pretty much everything else also. So let's put the channel buying and selling pressure back on there. And let's look at what we have. It can look a little complicated because of all the signals, but for the most part, you got this high minus the close, 1 deviation is above 1 deviation. You can see right here, right now, with this violet dot or square right here, is telling you that this stock right here, this bar right here, is below average for its range. this range right here, this body, or I'm gonna say this body, the body of this candle is above average, but the volume is below average, and that's why it's giving that weird, with that violet signal right there. You can see how it shifted. It's above average. Volume is above average right now. Excuse me. Volume is above average, but the candle is below average. Am I saying that right? So I guess it had to stretch out to confirm it right now. But for the most part, this square right here is showing that this is range is below average, but volume is above average. So that's why you got the square in the middle of this candle right here. So this you can see these ranges of the high and low. When I say range, I'm usually talking about the high and low. When I say body, I'm usually talking about the irregular body. So just this body between the closed and open is the body. But right now, that's what it's showing you. It's showing you right now, this well, it actually is in line now. So that signal went away, but you got possibly another deviation between the one deviation between the high minus the close. So it's just telling you that it's more selling pressure than what it's showing you, or it's a lot of selling pressure on this candle. It's not 2, but it's 1. That's why I talked about the smaller arrows. So, and right now I have my volume and my range set to 48 because 12 gives an average of 12 gives you an hour. 48 gives you 4 hours. So you can kind of sort of look at this as being your 4-hour high, 4-hour low, but it's going to find the lowest low 4 hours on average and the highest high of 48 bars. And for me, that gives my 4-hour high and low. So now it's changed to this being my 4-hour high and my 4-hour low. As long as you're on a 5-minute chart, the 48 works. But my fib level has changed. This will be my 78.6 fib. This will be 50, and this will be my 214 fib right here. So right now, this candle is in line. It's normal. This is a normal candle. You don't have any signals going on with it. Just like this candle is normal, this candle is normal. Or you can kind of say this is highway, but for the most part, you didn't get any signals from that or deviations from that. So I'm going to bring down the volume just to show you what it looks like. Brought down the VWAP. All right, so there we go. You've seen it before. The only modifications that I made to this volume is still the standard deviations volume. If you get a new high, you get a label that pops up new high in volume. And the other thing, all of this is scannable. You can take any of those signals and scan for them. So we actually go up to the scan. So we're at the scan. So if I wanted to use the indicator, any one of those indicators to scan. So we'll just take my the standard deviation volume, the lower indicator. So let's find it first. So this is it, and I want to find a bull scan. Bull scan, let's say a new high. Volume is making a new high is true. Let's say 1 bar. So we'll look for anything today making a new volume high. Between it has to at least have a million volume. It has to be between $1 and 50 cents. I mean, $1 and $50. And this is what we got. So we'll look at our. This is not a lot of volume, but BIVI. Let's go look at that one. So this is a new volume, and this is actually it's an inside week, so I actually go and change that, but it's actually a Holy Grail week as well. If you're unfamiliar with that, it's a lot of videos. Well, it's not a whole bunch of videos, but it's a couple of videos if you want to look at Holy Grail Nirvana on a day or a week. But this is one of the stocks that's pushing. So we actually push over to it. There's your new high label. This stock is making a new volume high in accordance with this 21 days. Average high and low candles. And what are we getting right here? We got a deviation as well. So we have a buying pressure deviation right here as well. And we can look right here according to our 63 day average or 3-month average. It's above its 50. So this will be a bullish, but it's actually getting stopped or finding resistance here for the midpoint for December. So hopefully it can get back above the midpoint for December. So TOUR. Well, let's go back. How much volume is on that one? It's only 2 million now. This is according to percent change too. And it's sorting it through volume. That was probably gonna be the best one. TOUR. We're gonna look at that one. TOUR. I know I looked at this one before, and it looks like it's a continuation. You can see another volume deviation. So we can go to here. So it's setting a new volume high on the daily. And you can see right here, there's your volume, your buying pressure deviations and your buying pressure dot as well. So that's pretty much how that scan works. The second scan that's in there are actually scanning for these arrows. So let's go look at the second scan that's built into this thing. So we'll switch it and we'll go for the bull scan. It's true within 1 bar. So it's looking for anything on today that has a bull scan on it or a bull deviation. So we pretty much got everything that we had before. So we're going to go for the bear scan then. Let's do this. Let's push it up to 3. Today is Wednesday, so let's try 3 days and see if it gives us something. Anything that's within those 3 days that has that that meets that criteria. So a lot of these VRU, let's look for. I'm gonna look according to my 5-day change. So SMMT is red today, but somewhere between these 3 days, it actually pushed up. And you can see right here, it actually pushed up on this day. And we can look back here, and we can see there's your signal right there. Anything within 3 days. So that's why I put the 3 days, because I wanted to see something else. But it's an inside day, so this high and this low is traded within the previous day's high and low range. So, and I believe I still have this set for the high and low, inside day for the fibs. Anyway, so right now, here's your open. It actually pushed up to the, it tried to break above yesterday's high. It actually did during the pre-market, but it couldn't hold it. So it came back to the point where it opened up or came back to the actual channel, found resistance here in the channel, and that's where you're getting all these signals telling you that it's a lot of selling pressure here in this area. So you have your selling pressure dot and you have your selling pressure deviations as well. But if any of this is too complicated, like the irregular bodies or the ranges or whatever is in there, just cut it off and just focus on the other ones. So we could go in there, and I'm going to cut off the hollow range 1 and the hollow range 2, and I even cut off the irregular bodies. And what the irregular bodies are just showing you that there is divergences between price and volume. Price may be above average while volume is below average. So that's where you get the deviations from. That's where you get the irregular bodies from. So we can go inside here and scan for anything that's in here inside the channel as well. So we can go to the scan, and let me make sure I remember the name of this indicator. So my channel average buying. Okay. So we'll go to the scan. We'll go to that indicator. So, and there's a channel, and let's look for, what do we want to look for? We want to look for anything with buying pressure above 2 deviations within 3 bars. So let's scan for it. And I'm trying to remember. I think that's what we just looked for, didn't we? So let's take that back and let's go look back at it again. So I meant to look at this one right here. No, that's not it. I apologize. Okay, we should have it right now. So we're going to be looking at the actual buying and selling pressure dots. These are the deviations. Here are our dots. Let's see if we can find a stock making a new low, but the buying pressure is increased on it. So we're going to look for it on true within 1 bar. Let's try that. So it'll be anything today. So let's see, percent change. ADMA only has 4 million volume. I was hoping for something with more volume, but let's see ADMA. ADMA. So if you found this pre-market, or if you looked yesterday, it's actually have an outside day, outside week, and an inside month. So I will actually adjust my I will actually adjust this to an inside month. And where are my fibs located? And it's going to carry over the previous month's midpoint. So this is the previous month's midpoint. These are where these fibs are being adjusted with. And here is the high of the month. No, is that the high of the month? No, that's previous day. So let's check it out. It is the high of the month, previous month high. So I was wrong on that one. So for the most part, so we look at the fibs on this one right here. You can see where it got hit right here, close to that previous. It actually hit the previous week's high, and now it's struggling with the previous day's high. It pulled back to yesterday's close. You can see there's your buying pressure dot, selling pressure dot on a high volume, but it actually held previous week's low and yesterday's close. So let's go look at it on a daily chart. And there you have it. So this is our current month low. This is our current month high right here. And it's actually, it tried to breach above the previous month. And there's your buying pressure dot right there, and it's a buying pressure deviation. And because it's an inside month, it actually got it. It carried this midpoint over, and it's actually settled into a nice little range. So we can cut the fibs back on, and let's look at it. And right now, those I should have adjusted those fibs to an inside month. And this is what we're looking at. So our previous month lows here, our previous month highs here. Here's our 50% retracement, which is the previous month's midpoint. 61.8, that's where it dropped down to. 78.6, 90, which is 10% away from our high. So that's where this stock is trading at right now. 61.8 is at 3.09, and it actually is trying to push back above. It's above average volume. but it's not above. It's less than 50% of the 21-day average volume. So it could do something. It could push above because it's a significant amount of volume compared to these other ones. You had a buying right here, but you also got an irregular body. So the stock was actually pushed down below. But the close is above this 78.6 for our channel, which is nice as well. And I just didn't like the amount of volume that's it's 5 million volume. So depending on your risk level, you get in or get out of that. There's the information on it. And we're going to go back to the scan, and I'm going to look for something. Let's see, ENSC. It actually has a buying pressure dot on it, which is I'm kind of confused about. So let's go look at it. Here's your buying pressure dot. The overall range. How much volume is? The overall range of this candle is let's see. It's not gonna let me zoom in like that. Yes, it will. I just have to do this. Come all the way over. Do that. Come back over here, and you can see basically the close. Where the close is on this candle. The range between the low and the close is greater than the range between the high and the close. So that's why you got a buying pressure dot on here. So we're not going to worry about that stock. So we're going to look for something that's green on this 5-day average. And it doesn't have a great, so the VIPs, VIP, it only has 3 million volume. Where's something with high volume? TME. All right, TME would be something that I would look at because it's actually somewhat like a pullback. It doesn't have, it's not an inside day or inside month, but it's actually a gap down day. So we can pull into it. Here is our midpoint for the month. Here's our midpoint for the day. Here's our midpoint for this week. So it would really look nice if it got back above this midpoint for the week is 730. So I would actually just take the fibs off, or I would adjust the fibs to the unbounded version to a 21-day or a 63-day version. So that's what I mean by unbounded. And where are we with our fibs on a 3-month basis? So this will be your 78.6, this will be your 10%, and this will be your highest one right here. So we'll go back over here, and I would adjust those fibs to the same way basically. Leave down a day. I leave that at 21. And I just go with the unbounded version. So midpoint of the day, midpoint of the month, midpoint of the week is up here, just like I showed you. But this was pretty much the end of the video. I wanted to show you how everything worked, all the adjustments that I made. And when I'm done working out the kinks and everything with it, just look for a new video with the release of the actual indicators or the updates or the modifications. I hope everything I said was beneficial to you, and I hope that I wish you well in your trading. And I thank you all once again for listening to what I had to say, and God bless. Have a great one. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe.